Hey guys, Froz3n here, bringing you a video for the first time in 6 years. Today I'm going to talk about Star Wars Battlefront 2, and I'm going to have a little bit of a Battlefield 1 gameplay in the background here. This isn't the best gameplay ever. I just sort of hopped in a game and got the first thing I could. But that's because I wanted to talk about the current Star Wars Battlefront 2 loot crate controversy. Now, Star Wars Battlefront, ever since EA acquired it at least, has never been a hardcore franchise. It's very much a casual franchise designed almost with mobile game principles in mind. First Star Wars Battlefront, it had pickups you could get just off the floor for things like heroes and other like vehicles and stuff like that, and it seemed like something they would put in a mobile game, you know, like it didn't have any real like relations to existing console games or PC games that actually have good multiplayer design. It felt very artificial. It didn't feel like it rewarded people. So I'm glad to see that at least the new Star Wars Battlefront 2 is going to actual, score in the game and helps you unlock stuff. However, the loot crates is a totally different matter. Now, I think a lot of people have it wrong. The game is not pay to win alone. It's everything to win. And what I mean by that is everything is a net upgrade over everything else. So there's different tiers of star cards, and the star cards can be obtained either by grinding for many hours in the game or by purchasing loot crates with real money. Now, what that means is that in traditional games, everything you unlock after you're a new player is always a side grade, and that is what helps keep the game balanced. Now, to illustrate my point, I'm going to show you in a second here some screenshots from classic games such as Call of Duty 4. So here it's a very bad quality picture and I apologize. But as you can see on the left there, you have things like accuracy, damage, range, fire rate, and mobility. And when you create your class, in order to increase your damage, you have to sacrifice something else such as accuracy, range, or fire rate. And this means that you're going to be a balanced individual compared to everyone else. You can't just have a net upgrade to damage or anything like that, or you just become imbalanced. And no one wants to play against someone who's just better than them in all ways. Again, here's an example from a classic Call of Duty 2. You choose one gun over another, you're gonna have to choose. Do you want accuracy? Do you want damage? Do you want mobility? Do you want controllability? You can't get net upgrades to everything because it doesn't make sense. Who wants to play a game where everything is an upgrade, You don't want to be playing against someone who's just simply better than you. Whereas here, we can see in Star Wars Battlefront 2, here's an example of a star card. So this star card is for the Starfighter Assault mode, I think that's what it's called. And it's just a rate of fire increase. Increases primary weapon fire rate. And there's 4 different tiers. Base tier, 5%. Next tier, 10%. 15% and 20%. So I mean, that's a 20% damage per second increase. That's not insignificant. So a person who first starts isn't going to have anything. They're going to have 0%. And a person who simply pays more money or grinds longer in the game and gets lucky from a loot crate, they're going to have a 20% damage per second upgrade over the person actually who just started the game. And that's going to feel very frustrating for new players and also people who just don't have the time to play the game for 40 hours to unlock a single hero. And that's what people don't understand. It's not just pay to win. It's grind to win, and there's just simply no respect for balance whatsoever. Counter-Strike is balanced and competitive as a game because it respects people's time, and everything is just for different play styles. So the AK-47 and the M4 are comparable guns. They're not going to give you a massive advantage either way. Things go wrong and games become frustrating when things are not balanced. Modern Warfare 2, for example. Noob tubes spam with one-man army. That wasn't balanced and it's not fair because you can just be doing anything and then suddenly you explode because you have no choice. You have no way of reacting. You have no way of competing in that moment. And that's what happens when someone will come in who has a 20% fire rate increase with a 15% damage bump and then missiles that don't cool down. And then what are you supposed to do against that? It's not fun. There's nothing about that that's fun. And there's another aspect you also have to consider. So although the game has all the DLC coming out for free, including the expansion packs and everything else. My bet is, because the heroes are already something you have to grind for 40 hours, they're going to come out with the heroes, but it's going to be behind a wall of a ridiculous amount of time that you have to spend playing the game to unlock credits. And that means that you're going to have to spend 40 hours playing the game, or you could actually pay in-game money and simply unlock the new DLC content without having to grind. So that means that even though they're saying it's free because you can unlock it with in-game credits, it's actually impossible to get for anyone who has a job, anyone who has other responsibilities in life, who aren't 12 years old and get to sit at home and play the game for 40 hours a week like a full-time job. And that's a lot of arguments I've been seeing on the internet, is that people are saying, oh, why are you complaining about a game where you only have to spend 40 hours to unlock a hero? I'm like, how many people are going to play this poorly designed casual game for 40 hours? Last game I played for 40 hours is like Battlefield 1, and I've had that game for like a long time, and I think I've played like 60 hours since it came out, and I've been playing it quite regularly. Like, I would have unlocked one hero by now if I didn't get any other star cards at all. So I mean, not everyone has time to spend 40 hours playing only one game when there's a lot of games that come out, and a lot of them are frankly more interesting than Star Wars Battlefront 2. So when I do have time to play Star Wars Battlefront 2, I'd like to have the most varied experience that I can possibly have. I don't want to be playing it and not experiencing the things that I've paid £50 for. Well, if you're a noob and you actually buy an Origin, or £25 with a CD key provider. Anyway, I just wanted to have a little rant about this. The overall message I'm trying to send here is that we need to go back to a time when games actually respected people's time and actually respected the principles of balance that you expect to have in a game. Nothing should be an upgrade. Everything should be a side grade at best, and something that just helps you get a different experience. Slightly different experience in different circumstance. So let's say, shotgun is going to be overpowered in close combat, but when you're at a distance, it's going to be horrific. And then someone with a sniper rifle or assault rifle will outclass you. That's the way it's supposed to be. You're supposed to have situational gameplay so that the gameplay within the game ends up being varied and interesting. But instead, we have a situation where people who simply played the game longer or paid more money will beat you. And that's not going to feel fun for anybody, unless you're rich or you have unlimited time. And that's the message I want to send today. Stay tuned for another video in 6 years, if I feel like it. Thank you for listening.